Alright, so we just got done watching Sailor Moon R, aka Sailor Moon Season 2, Episode 30?
30, 70,
Episode
70 overall.
Yeah.
And this episode, we've had a little bit of a break, so I'm going to say we can't really recap what happened last time.
We're on a new story here.
In relation to this one. However, one thing which I remember from, I believe, probably the last episode or the second episode we watched, is Chibiusa now knows that her friends are the sailors. And in this episode, I cannot name their names, but we got a guy with white hair and a girl with green hair who are now coming in to stop the sailors because the Dark Sisters, we had the group of the sisters, right?
We'll hit you with your names next recap.
Yeah,
episode.
who had all we had a group of sisters, and all the sisters had been converted to the good side by the sailors.
Yeah.
And now these are the two higher ups. I believe they're brother and sister.
Yeah.
And they're coming in to stop them because the initial group failed.
And were killed?
No, were turned into humans. They were turned from.
They reverted back to humans?
Not reverted back. They reverted from like dark sister, like dark kingdom entities into humans, like pure humans, no powers.
I mean, so did they revert? Did they convert? Were they ever humans?
They were never humans.
Right.
They
so
converted.
Yeah.
The love of the sailors converted them into normal humans because they.
Which is something I love is like the ultimate power of a protagonist being like compassion and love and just dissolving evil through that.
Let's talk
a
about
motif that you might find in an anime called Gurren Lagann, which everybody loves.
And we'll talk
There's
about the
Gurren Lagann picture right here.
The old eps is we had so what would happen is the sisters, the group of sisters, they would
English speakers will know them as Negaverse warriors, but the Japanese would call them what? Dark World?
Call them Dark Kingdom sisters. So they
lost my jewel. So
they would LARP as humans.
Kingdom sisters?
Dark Kingdom sisters.
Dark.
They would pretend to be human to trick the sailors, and then
we call that OPSEC.
And then
you gotta stay.
They would reveal their
stay
true
low-key.
self as the Dark Sisters.
When they're attacking.
However, what happened was the sailors' love made them say, "Oh, you know what? You know how we converted to pretending to be human? We're gonna become fully human and take on the roles they pretended to take on." So we'd have one who's a beautician and would sell beauty products, and she's like, "You know what? I'm gonna become a normal human and just sell beauty products for the purpose of beauty."
Wow, so a gateway to losing your demonic powers.
And so
you hang out with the humans long enough, they rub off on you.
This is actually episode 76 altogether.
76. Yeah. Okay, episode. So we just got done watching Sailor Moon R, episode 30, also known as episode 76 overall. So.
Opening up a whole new arc.
Yeah.
And this
Esmeralda begins a new assault on Tokyo, targeting the grand opening of the pastry shop.
Yeah, because they're all going to eat cakes. That's why they're hanging out. The sailor.
Now, believe it or not, guys, here's a laugh. So in the English version, which our lovely guest co-host today is
Zachariah.
Familiar.
This episode is hosted
by
Ezekiel. At Zach's place. We haven't introduced me, but you know who I am. Anyway,
it's episode 69.
I like the Flash. It's like
I lost my jewel. So
it's like Ghost Story. It's like
Who's got my jewel?
And
you know when you're camping with the boys and it's like Ghost Story time. I watched this episode of Sailor Moon.
I gotta find my dad's jewel.
Is there any way of pausing this? Not really, hey?
No, but you leave it on. You leave it on while you look. Are you sure?
It has been 4 minutes of this bullshit. I want to be on break.
You haven't watched how we do reviews.
That's how it works.
No, I know that it's fast.
It was kind of fun.
That's why I haven't objected.
Do you think Maddie took it? Maybe.
I think it was kind of fun that the sort of freak of the week this episode
is not of the week.
No, there's a freak of the week. There was
but she's not dead yet. It's a 2-week thing.
Just let it.
I don't know. Marzipan was her attack. Marzipan. I thought that was fun. She was in a pastry shop. All the girls were trying to get cake. They were excited. At the end of the episode, they were harassed for being flat-chested teenagers.
Flat-chested, no hips. Kids. You flat-chested, no hip kids.
Specifically performed in front of common tuxedo.
This one is yours.
Well, that's all. I'm gonna
That's not my flavor.
And I'm also going to say...
Where's yours?
Reed's got mine.
I don't have it, but you probably have it.
Problem solved, everybody. I never lost my jewel.
You got like marsh creme brulee, is that what that is?
Vanilla.
Here's another thing for Usagi. Usagi is still caught on Mamoru.
I've tried some other ones.
So Usagi said...
Mamoru?
Mamoru, a.k.a. for the English listeners.
I think Peekaboo with Meryl would be
here's a funny Japan joke. Is
a quarter in front of
the word Mamoru Mamoru is to protect, and his name's Mamoru. I think it's Mamoru. I don't know. I haven't done this enough. But anyway, the bad
tuxedo mask.
Yeah, his name is like to protect. Like you want to say you want to keep a secret. It's
So a Japanese viewer would understand Mamoru. Wait, so his name isn't Mamoru though. It's reminiscent to Mamoru.
What are we saying?
His name is Mamoru, but Mamoru is to protect, like to keep something.
His name
safe.
Is reminiscent of another word called
anyway.
Mamoru.
That doesn't fucking matter.
It does matter. It's
well, maybe.
We're speculating it might be part of his character.
What I'm saying now is the baddie looks at Mamoru and is like, oh my god, he is handsome. And Usagi says, do not look at him that way. And then she says, who are you guys? You guys are some flat-chested, no-hip teens.
And the reason...
And Usagi says back, flat-chested, ? She doesn't like that.
This is the only time we paid attention the
Yeah,
entire
I honestly can't say any other lines of dialogue except when Usagi said flat-chested ?
This is one of those nothing episodes we've talked
But
about.
all you gotta...
We're learning that Esmeralda is dummy thick.
All you gotta know...
I think it kind
Esmeralda
of might defeat the Sailor Scouts.
Esmeralda shows up.
It's risking
but
to defeat
they
the
don't
Sailor.
defeat her this episode. The end of the episode is the whole squad. We got the Infinity Gang showed up, and they're facing off to Thanos. This is the end of Infinity War. The next episode's Endgame.
Nice. Can we show the poster? Is that the art?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Let's get the flashlight on it.
Well, okay. You put it on it.
Bring it down.
Put it on dark first.
There we go. Look at this.
1997. Which I believe was when Sailor Moon stopped airing or began airing.
Started, I'd say.
Okay.
Started airing. Or no, it started in 94.
Well, it started before then. I mean, because in the 90s, it was
look
already
at that.
localizing. And
what the
spoiler characters, too. One of those characters at the top. I don't know who that is, but she's...
Oh, I know who that is.
She's in the theme song.
She's, I think that's, like...
I don't want to know. I actually, I've completely avoided
I'm gonna...
spoilers.
Oh, that's fun. I'm gonna drop a fat spoiler.
2 years into this bit. I don't want to know.
I think it's Pluto.
He literally doesn't want to know.
I think it's Pluto.
I know that there is a Pluto.
Don't spoil it.
Don't spoil it.
Please.
I don't care about spoilers. I knew Endgame before Endgame ended.
Of course.
Hey,
because it's Marvel Comics.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good. Okay, I'm gonna do it. You guys seen it? Do you care?
Oh,
he's read.
I read the
I was talking to him and Cam about the thing we're reading.
Iron Man dies.
No, we got talking about Iron Man dies. Black Widow dies. Captain America becomes an old man.
Let me spoil Endgame for you.
You spoil it with the stuff you read.
Here's the spoiler. You wasted $15. That's the spoiler.
No,
spoiler alert.
Let's talk about how Captain America wants to go back to the 1950s.
You're being hypnotized by Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers?
Disney. It's Disney. This is the mouse.
I think Warner Brothers Productions.
Warner Brothers owns DC.
Right, I'm thinking DC. I was just thinking of. I've just got my head on Joker. I've got my head on
Shazam
Joker.
Spoilers.
Have you seen Shazam?
I'm kind of a purist who manages to keep himself out of
Shazam
this.
Spoilers.
Shit.
It's a sequel
I'm glad
to
not to know.
NBC's Chuck.
Did you watch Shazam?
No, I don't care.
I watched Shazam because Kate.
What's most interesting about Infinity War is they couldn't get.
She begged me to go to Shazam.
Chuck's pretty sweet.
So
are we doing a review?
It was.
Do you think we should? I thought that the pastry theme, the cult.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
we're gonna cut it out 10 minutes.
Okay, so we're almost 80 episodes in, and we're still using we're still. I feel like at this point, I've never been to Japan, but I think we're making up cultural events that they need to go. They're all excited about this new pastry shop. I don't know any. Do you know anybody that would be excited about a new pastry shop?
Yeah, I do. A lot of normal fucking.
JP's learning about Japan.
No, I'm not even talking about Japan. I'm talking about the cookie guy opens downtown Victoria, and you go on Instagram, and 30 fucking people have been posting.
Without Instagram,
I'm at the cookie guy. No, it's
which is sort of retarded because I know a guy who knows the guys who own the cookie guy, and they're mongoloids. They're sort of like they're like Anyway. They ran a successful business.
That's it.
They can run. You don't have to.
As in Devo's Mongoloids.
You've seen Devo. You've read there. Yeah.
Devo, the song from their most popular album.
No, yeah, you've seen that on YouTube, I hope. But, oh man, we're already cutting into 11 minutes. Who knows what's going to happen next review?
I'm going to say one last thing. The biggest change in this episode.
Them all one way. You got it though.
No, the biggest thing is that we didn't get a Freak of the Week. We had an introduction.
And you weren't paying attention. There was a Freak of the Week. There was the black.
No, but you don't hear me out. The whole thing is she wasn't there.
Marzipan.
No, but she wasn't the. We had the green hair girl there the whole time. Oh. She was there, and we had an introduction. She was like a crony. Reed was meant to die.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the Freak of the Week.
No, but we had an introduction of a character and a cliffhanger ending of a fight coming next episode.
Right, that is true.
That's the thing which is new.
About Esmeralda, I suppose?
Esmeralda, she revealed herself at the last minute.
Reed seems to have some sort of psychic knowledge of the future plot. Okay. I feel like Esmeralda's going to last for a long time. She's not going to die next episode. Okay. But because I'm not from the future.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.